What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another all-new edition of Renegades Reviews, right here on the Casa Studios channel. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today we're going to be talking about the 1988 chick flick, Beaches, starring Bette Midler, Barbara Hershey, Mayim Bialik, Marcy Leeds, John Hurd, Tracy Reiner, Gary Marshall, and more. That's right, everybody. Happy February. Here we are on February 1st, here on the Casa Studios channel. All new edition of Renegades Reviews. Thank you for riding with me through Tom Hanks month. For those of you that aren't Tom Hanks fans, I'm sure that was a little bit boring. Hopefully, as the months go on, you'll like more and more of the films that I review. Being as how it's February, I figured we had to mix the month up a little bit. I couldn't just do one theme because February is Valentine's Day, but it's also Black History Month. So for the first half of February, I'm going to be doing chick flicks, love stories, romantic comedies, that type of stuff. And then for the second half of February, I'm going to be doing Black History Month. And today, being the first, we're going to kick it off with what is quite possibly one of the ultimate chick flicks, Beaches. Now, in the beginning of the movie, we're introduced to CeCe Bloom. She's performing a sound check for her concert at the Hollywood Bowl. And she gets a message, so she leaves her sound check, like completely panicked. Ends up traveling to San Francisco all night via car due to fog limitations. She's not able to fly. As she drives, she starts thinking about her lifelong friend. The year was 1958, and the place was Atlantic City, New Jersey. Young Hillary is lost and stumbles upon CeCe, who at this point is a street performer. She's about 12 years old. CeCe is singing The Glory of Love, and Hillary is just mesmerized by CeCe's voice, her charisma, the whole nine. They quickly become friends in just a few moments, running up and down the boardwalk, taking pictures in the photo booth. And when Hillary's nanny catches up with her, takes her away, but she gives CeCe her address. So the two keep in touch over the years, corresponding the old school way by sending letters. Hillary ends up getting into a law career while CeCe struggles as a singer. You know, she's performing in dive bars, delivering singing telegrams. And Hillary, unfortunately, although being successful, doesn't have her heart in her career. So she leaves her life one day, just up and walks out, and she ends up showing up where CeCe is singing. She ends up moving in with her lifelong friend, and their bond just strengthens and grows through that time. One day, CeCe delivers a singing telegram to John Pierce, who's an artistic director for a local theater, who, when hearing her voice, recognizes her talent right away, puts her in the chorus for his next show. CeCe, of course, ends up falling for John, but John has eyes for Hillary. And this is the first kink that starts to show in their friendship. Causes a love triangle and resentment between the two friends. When CeCe has her first starring role, How do John and Hillary celebrate? They sleep together. Again, more resentment because it's at this point that Hillary finds out how much Cece really liked him. Hillary's dad ends up getting sick around this point. And Hillary packs up everything, goes back to San Francisco, takes care of her father. At this point, now that Hillary's out of the picture, John and Cece are able to begin their relationship. Hillary's dad passes, and she ends up marrying Michael, who's another lawyer at the firm. Cece and John also get married, but neither woman is at the other one's weddings. One night, Hillary and Michael come to see Cece perform on Broadway. Afterwards, the friends start catching up. Hillary says she stopped practicing law, and Cece accuses her of giving up on her dreams. Hillary accuses Cece of having an ego and being obsessed with her career. And the two friends really have their first vicious argument. There's a little bit of resentment during the love triangle part, but this is their first vicious knockdown, drag out fight that we see. The friends end up going their separate ways, and after their fight, After the fight, Hillary begins ignoring Cece's letter. And just any correspondence that Cece sends goes unread, ignored. Hillary's moved on, basically. What's interesting, though, is following the argument, both of their lives start to fall apart. John files for a divorce from Cece, stating that her obsession on her success has left him feeling left out. There's no place for me. It's all about you now. While Hillary's husband, Michael, is caught having an affair. When Hillary finds out that Cece is in her town, she goes and sees them for the first time since their fight. They learn about each other's divorces and admit that they're both jealous of each other. Hillary tells Cece that she's pregnant and is going to raise the child single mom. No involvement from Michael. Cece promises to help her. They've buried the hatchet that is her lifelong friend. She is going to be there for this kid. However, Cece is offered the ultimate comeback gig. So she runs off to New York, leaving Hillary behind, still pregnant, but she swears that she'll be there in time for the birth of this baby. Hillary gives birth to a girl whom she names Victoria Cecilia. The Cecilia part is a tribute to Cece. While Victoria is still young, Hillary develops viral cardiomyopathy. I may have butchered that. I apologize if I did. Viral cardiomyopathy. And is going to require a heart transplant. And having a rare tissue type, the doctors tell her that the odds of finding a match are slim to none in time. So she's basically been given a life sentence. She now has X amount of time before she passes. During this point, Cece is now a Tony Award-winning superstar. But when she learns of the illness, she goes with Hillary and Victoria to the beach house for the summer. Over this point, Cece really bonds with Victoria, and Hillary gets depressed due to her condition getting a lot worse. And seeing Victoria have fun and play with Cece, which she should be able to do with her daughter. So there's a little bit of jealousy here again. She ends up taking her frustrations out on Cece. At the end of the summer, Hillary and Victoria return to San Francisco, while Cece goes to LA for a concert, the concert where we began the film. Hillary ends up collapsing, which leads to the note which is sent to Cece that she reads at the Hollywood Bowl and begins her journey. Cece ends up taking Hillary and Victoria to the beach house, where Hillary dies peacefully. After the funeral, Cece takes custody of Victoria. Cece performs her concert at the Hollywood Bowl, with Victoria kind of standing in the wings, and ends the show with The Glory of Love, which was the very first song Hillary had ever heard her perform. After the show, Cece and Victoria leave hand in hand, and Cece begins to tell her stories of her mom and their friendship. I've seen Beaches before, once, long time ago. I can understand why this is the ultimate chick flick, or one of them anyway. This is such a great story. The two ladies do an amazing job acting. You really start to feel for them, and you grow to appreciate their friendship and what it is. Wind Beneath My Wings, of course, came from this movie, which I believe got Bette Midler the Oscar for song. But Beaches is just an amazing story of two friends over the years. I'm going to give this film 3.5 stars out of 5. I feel that the story deserves it. I do feel like the movie runs a little long in some spots, gets a little dry, drags a little bit. But I definitely also feel that the parts where it doesn't are just so well done that I went ahead and I gave it 3.5 instead of just 3. What do you guys think about Beaches? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get those hashtags trending out there on the social medias, on the interwebs. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what the commercial just told you. Get out there, teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. Pick you up all the merchandise of the Casa the 18 Brethren, your Stat Boy approved shirt, your Stat Boy Sports Bar shirt, your Renegade J.J. Williams shirt, your Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirts, Meachamania in multiple colors, the official shirt of the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, etc., etc., etc. They're all there. teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. Tomorrow, here on Renegades Reviews, we are going to delve into a movie that I've never seen before, starring the now controversial and sometimes crazy Miley Cyrus. We're going to be talking about The Last Song with her, Liam Hemsworth, and Greg Kinnear. But before tomorrow, in fact, later on today, at the start of the next half hour, today is going to be the very first double feature edition of Renegades Reviews. That's right. The very first double feature day, starting at 3:30, I'm going to bring you yet another review. This time I'm going to be talking about the Lifetime remake of the film I just discussed, Beaches, starring Idina Menzel as Cece in the Bette Midler role, and Nia Long as Hillary in the Barbara Hershey role. So make sure you come back at the top of the half hour and check that one out as well. It's going to be really good. So until then, right here on the Casa the 18 Studios channel, right here on Renegades Reviews, I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and I'll see you guys next time.